Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Dr. B Show. I am Dr. B, as you know, and this week we interview Elena Niculae. She is a fractional human resource professional from Canada, and we discuss everything from her experience to volunteerism to her endeavor, InspirePath Solutions. It's a great episode, great listen. Enjoy. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Dr. B Show. I am your host, Dr. B, Dr. Jairo Borja. I'm here with the great Elena Niculae. Ah, I said that closely to the pronunciation. How are you today?
I am great. Hello, everyone, and thank you for having me here.
No problem, no problem. Excellent. Let's jump right into the interview. So, tell everyone about yourself.
hmm Well, I have a lot of stuff to say about myself. Let's see, what can I start with?
If you could
Well,
keep
I
it,
am
keep it to
a
like 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay, let's go short. Well, I'm a little bit of a world traveler. I grew up in Europe and then I moved to North America about 12 years ago. And I'm a lifelong learner, and I'm very passionate about everything that I do. And right now, I am a leadership and people strategy mentor, coach, and fractional leader at my own practice that I opened towards the beginning of this year after close to 2 decades in the corporate world. I think I'm under 2 minutes.
I love it. I love it. Perfect. And we're going to talk more about your business in a little bit, right? So, I'm a big educator, as you may or may not know, obviously having a bachelor's, master's, and doctorate. So, you went to the University of Bucharest, right? You received your bachelor's
Mhm.
in sociology and master's in human resource management. How did education, because I'm a big component of education, so how did education
Mhm.
help you with your experience today?
Well, I would say it helped me quite a lot, but perhaps not in a way that you might imagine. Now, going to school, obviously, is just shortening the learning time, and you just have a couple of years of condensed information that really helps you in the workplace. For me, what really helped was that I actually chose sociology, which is the study of human behavior in larger groups. So then, when my career went towards human resources, I feel like the knowledge that I acquired in university really helped me better approach business. Um, like, for example, nowadays there are various school of thoughts in organizations about how you approach employees. In human resources, the approach has changed over the years. But one of them is really empowering people to be their best version in order to give you the best results. And for me, you might know the labeling theory by Durkheim. It says that if you label someone continuously, after a while, they start believing it. So with employees, you tell them you're incapable to do a good job. After a while, they just become incapable of doing a good job. So if you take that and you apply it to the organization in a positive way, well, you empower them, you hold them capable, and you allow them to make decisions, they are going to make your business thrive. So, yeah, in that sense, that theoretical knowledge really helped me find my way of approaching organizations in a different way that oftentimes gave really good results.
That kind of reminds me of me, and when it comes to the world of business, right? So if you think it, it will, and believe it, it will happen, right? Similar to what I shared with you off air, which I can't share. I can share on air. So, so
Absolutely, it's exactly that.
absolutely, 100%. So you also have a competitive edge, right? You're SHRM certified, which is huge in the world of human resource, and EQI 2.0 and 360 certified as well. How does that give you a competitive edge in the world of HR, versus others?
Mhm. Well, I would say that, Trump, it's a very sought after credential, and I'm very fortunate to have it. I also have a CPHR here locally in Canada. For employers, I think that's kind of like a guarantee that you are investing in your continuous education because on average, you have to have at least 20 hours of training every year in order to maintain it. So with that, it's kind of like a stamp of approval from the organization to say, hey, you have what it takes to really represent the best interest of your business. And on the other side, emotional intelligence, well, that's the big right now. If you want to be successful in life and in business, you really need to be able to develop those skills. And being a certified practitioner, that means I am allowed to actually coach people in emotional intelligence to use the EQI 2.0 tool and really go through the development journey with the coachees and help them develop those skills. And I got my certification probably about 4 years ago. And I've practiced quite a lot and I had great results with an internal development program. Now there are more and more people getting their certification. So although I think that in the beginning I had this advantage of being one of the few ones holding the certification, now there are many more. But I think that, what it gives me is really that authority to work with people in developing them.
No, I agree with you. I agree. Like once you have those certifications, you're taken more serious. Like, hey, this person is invested in their career or in their business, right? So I love it. I
Yeah,
love it. No, I love it. I'm all about that as well, right? So like you said in the beginning, I'm always a lifelong learner and continuously educating myself. I may not, there may not be a certificate or degree at the end, but I'm definitely like investing in these masterminds with like-minded folks to kind of always continue to elevate my game. So I applaud you, and
totally.
we have that commonality there. So I love that. Awesome. So talk to me about the Performance Innovation Collective. I know it's a nonprofit near and dear to your heart. Can you kind of elaborate on that?
Yes, absolutely. So earlier this year, I got together with a bunch of people, some from the HR world, some non-HR, and we were thinking, hey, performance management, it's broken. Everyone is complaining. The leaders and the staff, what can we do to make it change? Because there's so many people that have innovative approaches to performance. So then we got together, we created the Performance Innovation Collective, and what we do is we bring in speakers to talk about various topics as they relate to performance, like how does equity show up in performance? What's the connection between well-being and performance? So through all of these events, we all volunteer our time to speak to the topics, to educate the HR communities and the leaders. And our hope is by this collective knowledge, we are going to improve organizations and we will be able to shape new ways of doing performance management. So, we have a YouTube channel, we are recording all of our presentations and roundtables, and I'm very proud of all of the work that everyone is doing. I'm one of the co-founding members and I'm a leader there. So I'm running the roundtable program. And it feels good to give back to the community, to help advance the profession of human resources and build those leadership skills. And I've done it throughout my entire career. I've worked with nonprofits in the past, and even now in my business, I'm sponsoring a community. It's called InspirePath People Strategists. It's a free community for HR professionals and leaders where I'm facilitating group mentoring in order to help people develop those strategic people skills that will advance their career and that will support the organizations be more successful. Because I feel like most leaders and HR professionals really focus on the tactical side. But we also need strategic skills. We need to speak the language of the business. So this is my way of giving back to the community and helping people be ready for the future when tactical skills will be less important.
I love it. Yeah, a lot of people get caught up in like, yeah, the in and outs, right, of the tactical, and don't forget the strategic piece to it. So no, kudos to you, and kudos to doing that. And I'm a big component of volunteerism and giving back. I actually have a whole talk around that where like, take it a step further and joining a board, and what are the benefits of joining a nonprofit board, and how can that help you professionally and personally, right? In giving back. So kudos to you once again. So. All
Thank
right,
you.
so we're gonna get into your business, but before I get into that, you've had some experience. You did mention, so I did some research. I always do when I do these interviews. So you've done stuff at Kiriton MPC, I Prospect. I assume these are all Canadian-based businesses, right? So how did that all these experiences, right? You took a little bit of here, a little bit of there. How did it all help you in starting your business?
Well, what all of these businesses had in common was their fast growth businesses. And what helped me was to really see some of them, they were like multinational companies with presence all across the world. Some of them were a bit smaller, some larger. Um, I've seen them grow. I've seen them expand into new markets. I've seen them contract. So through successes and failures, I got all of the knowledge and skills that I needed to really build a vision for my own business, to be able to set up some goals and the strategy for me to grow the business. And more importantly, it gave me exposure to the North American market, which is the market that I'm focusing on, to really understand the behaviors in the workplace, the culture in the marketplace and various industries, right? My focus was really on the technology industries or technology adjacent. And I've taken all of that knowledge, I absorbed it like a sponge in order to equip myself with all of the skills necessary to kind of build the concept behind my business. But you know what? That wasn't enough. So then I went and I invested in additional training this year so that I can really, that is my cat Bella, everyone. She likes to say hello to everyone.
All right, we have a cat appearance. I love it.
In order to be able to see how can I market my business and my skills, how can I sell my services. Um, but yeah, the experience in the technology industries in a fast growth environment really equipped me with everything that I needed to have the courage to go on my own and start building something and really focus on supporting the small medium businesses in North America.
I love it. That makes a lot of sense, right? Take a little bit of here, a little bit of there, right?
Mhm.
Now we're gonna get into your business, right? So tell us about InspirePath Solutions. How did you start it? How did that? Tell me I always like to hear like, how did it start? For some folks, it's like out of necessity. They get terminated, and then they just like have an epiphany moment. Other folks are like working on their business while at a W-2. So I kind of like to hear everyone's story. So give me the origin and tell us about InspirePath Solutions.
Well, I've always wanted to make a difference in the world ever since I was little. And I've been guided by this philosophy of a win-win-win approach, where the last win is the community, the society overall. So some years back, we were having an internal program that was called Journey to Success, where you would fill out the form where you would set up your professional and personal goals for the medium, short, and long term, and then you would put them on the wall for everyone in the business to see it and potentially to help you out to advance your goals. And one of my goals was really to open my own consulting business. And as I was growing in my career, I really realized that the way that I can impact others is by really using the best skills that I have, which is the people strategy and the leadership skills. And as I was mentioning earlier, I do share that through volunteering. I mentor a lot of people, and I'm part of these groups that are supporting communities. But I wanted to do it also in my business. So then, yeah, what we do at InspirePath Leadership Solutions is inspire people on their journeys to become better people strategists, better leaders through mentoring, coaching, and also executive leadership.
I love it. Good, good, good. Excellent, excellent. So I did some research on your firm as well. I love it. I love everything. So basically, you took everything from your experience in volunteerism and basically, started Inspire Path Solutions. I love it. So can you give us an example of or like what's the first step, right? So you help build high performance teams and help drive growth, right? So what is the initial step? Is there an assessment? Is there like a one-on-one? Tell us, give us, pull the curtain back, as they say in Broadway, right? What is the first step when you do that?
Well, you know what? It depends from business to business. I first need to understand what is their purpose. Why do those organizations even exist? And I find that many they don't actually have a clue. So I help them identify their purpose and put it out there for their teams and clients to really stand by it. And then you have to define what does success look like, because a high performing team for me might look totally different than it would look for you. And then we need to really narrow down what the success looks like, and then come up with the metrics to measure success. And then afterwards all of the rest of the work comes up. And then you look at the people. Do you have the right people in the right seat? Are they performing according to your success standards? And then how do you get that talent? How do you retain it? How do you help them grow? How do you get them to be so dedicated to their jobs in a way that it kind of mimics the circumstances of an entrepreneur, right? We entrepreneurs, we would do everything for our business to make it successful. So then the question is, for each organization that I work with, how can we create for your employees the same circumstances that you have as an entrepreneur? And that's where all of the people strategic programs come up. And then I help businesses to design those and then implement them in order to achieve the results that they set up to have.
I love it. Kind of depends on the business, right? So, but I love your approach when it comes to that. So, we're almost winding down. So, I know you help build high performance teams. So, how challenging has it been, post pandemic? How you have folks working remote from all walks of life, different time zones. Like, what are some things that you've suggested or suggest for those that have those teams all across different time zones in different countries? What do you suggest when it comes to keeping folks engaged?
Yeah. Well, yeah, the pandemic was a very interesting time, because in the organization where I was working, we were an international company in North America and Europe. We were having employees. Um, it was like a sudden change. Today I'm in the office, tomorrow I'm just permanently at home. And trying to coordinate a global workforce and making sure that we maintain culture. So what I would say worked was really being intentional about the time that we would spend together on camera or on occasion in person in the office, so that we can always have in mind, who are we? What are our core values? Why are we here? Why do we even do this job? And creating space for human connection. Now, something that we've created at the beginning of the pandemic was a mental health check-in. And we would do that on a daily basis, and we would use colors. Are you green, yellow, or red? And we define the colors. So if you're green, you're doing great. If you're yellow, you have some challenges. And then if any of your coworkers would hear that you are yellow, they might step in and ask you, what can I do to help? Can I help you in any way? If you are red, well, that's already something to be concerned of. And as leader, I would generally step in and talk to that person and say, hey, is there something that I can help you? Is it work related? Is it personal? What can we do to help you out? So, creating that space for human connection and treating people as a whole. Because in the pandemic, it wasn't just about work, it was about your personal life, sometimes even more than the work life. So, allowing people to bring their whole self to work, embracing it, and also training leaders to know how to approach people. I would say it was part of what made us successful during the pandemic. And you know what? We continue that even after we returned fully to work in office, because it was a way of knowing where other people are mentally and personally and professionally. And I would say I built stronger relationships during the remote time. than before that. So I'm sure that many other organizations have had similar lessons, but I do encourage people to not treat business just as business and understand that humans are what makes the business real and include some of the personal aspects of life in the business.
I love it. Yeah, it's important. And it's a great suggestion. Make sure you have that created space, right? Especially when it comes to mental health or just anything in general, right? And also building those relationships regardless of time zone
Mhm.
and location. So I love it. I love those
Yeah.
suggestions. Good. We're winding down. One of the last questions is um, for those entrepreneurs that are like just on the cusp of perhaps needing an HR person or HR services. Why, what advice would you give to those folks?
Well, I would say that a need for someone in an HR or people function comes when you start having a certain number of employees, and then you have to address their needs. So, if you start having some challenges with regards to the people, whether they are not giving it their all, you have attendance issues, or maybe you don't actually have an employer brand and you're having struggles attracting talent. That's when you need to start um, well, that's where the need for HR comes up. And for smaller businesses, my recommendation is don't just hire someone junior to do administrative work. You need strategic work. And you might need at that point perhaps a consultant or a fractional leader to just focus on the strategic work in order to help you align the people strategy with your business strategy. And as you start growing a little bit more, then you definitely need a leader, a strategic leader to help you guide all of the activities in the business and make sure that you don't do something just for the sake of it. You don't measure just for the sake of it, and that you really focus on how can you address the root cause of any people issue and then solving it. And obviously, I am a fractional leader, so I am supporting the idea of hiring a fractional leader because it costs less than hiring someone full time. And you don't actually need someone full time. You just need someone senior that can guide your business and your strategy.
I love it. You kind of flip the script instead of having someone junior doing just the admin stuff, have someone strategic and give you high level advice and make sure that your vision and mission and goals kind of align, right? The people versus the
Exactly.
overall. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Elena Niculae. I think I said that right again.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure having you on the Dr. B show. Where could people find more information about you? How can they contact you?
It was a pleasure being here. Thank you very much for inviting me. Yeah, probably the best location is my website, InspirePath.ca. You have there an overview of all of the services that we offer. There's a nice blog where we talk about some hot topics. And I am present on LinkedIn. I am working on preparing more content so that I can support even more people through it.
I love it. I love it. And always giving back. Elena Niculae, everybody. Thank you, Elena. Thanks for being on my show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hi, everybody. Hopefully, you enjoyed that episode with Elena Niculae. It was an amazing conversation with her. We discussed everything from her experience to her business at InspirePath Solutions to finding ways to keep the workforce engaged despite the post pandemic era. I hope you enjoyed it. Hey, if you haven't done so, please subscribe and follow us on social media, Borja Consulting Group, Dr. Haro Borja on LinkedIn, Borja Consulting on X, and please, you're just one big deal away from making things happen. Reach out. Take care.